actually. Check it around.
We're just waiting.
Next item.
Well, you've only got 2 more months.
So, one of the things me and Brian discussed about the whole my base camp philosophy is that this might be the first one, the second, third, fourth, whatever we do, we want to make sure that everyone stays connected if they want. If they want. You know, there's no doubt we talked about the philosophies behind my base camp, which are very advanced, but one of the things we do want to give people that way of life. We're working on an app at the moment, my base camp app, my base camp Facebook group. Now, the purpose of that is, when people leave these places or generally wherever they are in life, there are going to be challenges, there are going to be things, how many times sit there, I wonder who knows, I wonder how I do, or, you know, if only I knew. So the whole idea is for people to stay connected and people to be able to reach out. And that, we hope if this grows, but hopefully this time next year there's 1,000 people on my base camp, that someone might be able to help that person.
How you doing? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome David Brooks. Just in case I'm crap, can I have the applause now? Just had it. Okay, well, Steve threw me this on this today to me. Well, he mentioned it the other day, and I thought, how can I make this relevant to all the other speakers about what Malcolm spoke about what the lady before spoke about last night, called Kerry. Yeah, and then who we were today. And I thought, how can I make it relevant?
Sure.
I thought, I fucking can. So I thought, well, I'll just talk about my philosophy on life and what I got and why I'm fucking happy. Right. Okay, here we go. 1953, a famous year. Why? Correct. What even more famous why?
Land on the Moses.
No?
Coronation.
Yeah, the Queen got coronation in 1953. And also, I'm from a place called Bury in the north of England. Fitty Carl Carter's in here because he was in Bury, Manchester not long ago. And Bury again is famous for 1, 2, 3, 4 things. Right? This is a small town, northern town in England, which was the cotton industry. Actually, I'm going to keep going off in tangents, right? Because the cotton industry was started in around where I live, the Manchester area. And word of a lie, when I got here at first, I walked down Swansea Street saying, Manchester for sale! They're selling it! And people didn't realise it's called that because that's where cotton was made. Did you know that? Okay, how good is this? What did you learn? Nothing but Manchester. That's a true story. So it was the cotton industry, the industrial revolution, hard living. You know, really, when you watch Peaky Blinders or anything like that, tough, hard tough, right? So Bury is part of that area. It's got a population of about 100,000, but it's on the outskirts of Manchester, but it's the own place. It's famous for black puddings. Black puddings was made in Bury, which she said last night were good to eat. They're very good to eat. Do you know what's in it? Pig's bladder. That's what it's made of, pig's bladder. Yeah, exactly. And also, Sir Robert Peel was born in Bury. Do we know who he is?
Yes, Prime Minister.
Correct. He was Prime Minister of England and what? And he founded the police force. That's why they call Bobby Sir Robert Peel.
How good is this?
Am I giving him too much? And then they were originally called the Peelers before they were called Bobbies, right? So Robert Peel was born there. her again. And me.
And you?
Lot of applause then. Now, I should have asked this, has anybody got a $20 note on them?
No.
Not in this room.
Because there's a lady on the back of the new $20 note, right?
What's going to be you? That looks like you.
We're just getting to go
It's
inside.
Yeah, this is going to fail. You're building all this suspense.
I'm just short money. I'm just short money. Anyway, the lady on the back of the $20 note was born in Bury. How about that? Seriously?
Where is she?
Mary, for God's sake, I have got dementia, as you know. Anyway, have a look when you go back and Google her. It's an amazing story. She was born in Bury in 1854. I don't know. Well, she was 10 years old. Are you Googling it?
No.
Alright, she was 10 years old and she was dressed as a boy and she pinched a horse on my mother's life. She was convicted and shipped to Australia as a convict, dressed as a boy. True story. True story. And she got here and they realised now then it was a girl. So they released a kind of.
No, it's changed in Brooksy's.
Pardon?
Not much has changed.
No, that was how I got here. So, anyway, cut long story short, she became, very pretty and she ended up marrying a major in the British Army who was here. And she started setting up communities in the country for lesser folk, or the convicts getting better. And then when he died, she even expended more. So Mary Reedby, she's on the $20 note.
Okay.
That's three things you know already, right?
I'm surprised she's not in one of the
Pardon?
famous. I'm surprised she's not one of the famous people in Bury. You got the head of her.
Yeah, I'm going to be on the next
Okay.
$100 note. So anyway, back to me, 'cause it's all about me. I'm then at school, and as you know, I've not changed. I've been like this all my life, and I get it. When she said about the DNA, that is exactly right. You know, the DNA is who you are, and like I look at myself even more now. I've been watching things today, and I look like my dad. You know, I do. I look like my dad, and I'll never forget. Like, it's only when you get older when you realise why are you like this? Why am I always can't help joking? I can't mess around. But my dad used to say to me, David, when you get up in the morning, smile. I get upset because I didn't. And go to bed smiling, and just smile, just be happy. We never had goals, and he always said, always be smart and live your life. That's what he gave me, and I always lived by that, right? No goals or anything like that. And because you're happy, it just seems to get over things, right? And from day one at school, I used to mess around and act with God, and luckily, who was I speaking to about this? The mother, it was alone, about your mother finding your school report.
Yes.
I found my school report because she just passed away recently, and she kept everything in her life, and it was all like he should have done better, he never paid attention and all that. Nothing's changed. But when I was 13, right, we had these tests, right? You know, they have this. Did you have the cough? Did you not have cough? No, you wouldn't have had it. You've not got balls. So they used to you used to have a nurse come in and cough. And if your balls jump, you're all right. Yeah, let's try it. Can't believe this. Anyway, that's what happened. They used to test you like that. And then they'd have a colourblind test. They'd have a round thing with dots and all that. And there's numbers. And I said, what number? I could. And the thing is, I was colourblind, but my mum and dad never believed me because I always mess around. And when she was on last night, she was writing on that board last night, I can't see the colour on there.
Well, we can't either.
So I was colourblind and never realised it because of the way I was in life, which didn't change. But growing up in the north of England, Bury, all I wanted to do was play football. It was my escape, like you with AFL. That's all I wanted to do. That was my goal in life, to play football, to play sport, to play team games. I thrive on groups, as you know, and teams, and thrive on it, and it's football and doing all these things. That's all I wanted to do. And I was playing for Bury Football Club, our team, and you become like a bit like AFL, but in soccer you become an apprentice like that, and I was like that, but I never got to be a professional, so I had to go and get a job. But I never even thought about getting a job. But my mum, like he was saying about, Simon was saying about his mum, she applied to the gas board and got me a job as an accountant. Well, me as an accountant. so I'm living my life in England. It's the north of England, you know, the weather and shit and all that. And then not having goals, but having sliding doors in my life would have been amazing. It was the 20th of November 1980. I'm playing soccer, football, in Rosendale in the north of England, and it's absolutely pissing down, it's wet, it's dull and dreary, and that's just the people. And I'm there in the corner, and there's a mate of mine, Brian Sinclair, playing at the other side, and I'm next to him, and he says, Brookie, because it was Brookie in England. The S came when I arrived here, so it was Brookie. He said, Brookie, he said, I've just been to Australia, playing soccer, it's brilliant. I said, get me there. I met him in the bar afterwards. He said, I'll ring the club up there, and in 3 months I was on a plane to come here. Wow. Just from somebody saying that. And I just had a breakup from a girlfriend. I thought, right, this is a good chance. I was 27, you know, nothing to lose, 3-year contract. And I went to the airport, and when I looked, it's only recently when I went back, because when my mum was not well, that my mum and dad came to see me off and see, I don't know if you've got kids who are going off to another country, but I didn't realise what I did then to my mum. She was happy. She was happy, but I was going for a better life, right? Yeah. So I land here, so I leave everybody sees me off. So I land in Melbourne, right? Unbelievable. Sunshine, you know, what a great life. I thought Tattoo was going to meet me. This is Fantasy Island. The plane boss. You know, I've come from the north of England, fishing down in February, and I've landed in Melbourne. It was like 38 degrees. It was fucking boiling. I'll never forget it. And the biggest thing if you go to England is the clouds are on your head, right? Seriously, they're on your head. Here, fucking hell. Blue sky, miles away. And then you go down the beach, and then within 2 months of being here, I'd have my first steak in a week, because we only have steak at weddings, you know, birthdays and things like that. We couldn't afford it. They were having it on a Monday. True, right? I had my first cold beer. In the fridge. And they'd give it you and it'd be like, and remember that? They had shotguns. And they had shotguns pouring in. And the thing is, in England with pints, it's always warm, but you'd know, well, like 3 pints, 4 pints. With these, it's woof, woof. You'd no idea. And then, so I've had my first steak, my first cold beer, and my first shower. My first shower, and it was like all the Aussies I worked with, they had 2 a day. We had a bath once a week, whether we needed it or not. And this is gospel truth. My mum and dad and me. My mum was first. Every Sunday night we put the immersion on. Do you know what that is? Hot water system, right? Like here, you tap hot. In England you have to put a hot water system on and it heats it up and like there's a tank for hot water and it only lasts for a bit. So you can only have like 1.5 baths. So ask any English person my age. So we'd have the bath, the mum would get in it first, I'd be next and my dad would be last. What do you mean oh? Luxury having a bath. So come here. So that's why I know they call us soap dodgers. Hey, when you keep your money under the soap, you know. Oh my God. And, but for us in England, Australia was just like we didn't have neighbours or anything like that, so you didn't have real life. Because when I left, they gave me a hat with corks, right? So I've got off the plane in Australia. Oh, look at the business in here. Because I thought anybody would be wearing them. And I get out of the airport in kangaroo. So all we had was Rolf Harris. You know, what about him, 2 little boys? And his extra leg. Just thought that. Seriously, we had no idea about Australia. That was it to us like that. So I used to like ring my mum every day then, eh? Fly was open. Then it was like now, when you think of it now, you can get on your phone, you can FaceTime to England. Then it was like $3 a minute to ring England. I used to ring my mum every day non-stop. And every day she said, what time is it over there? Because she used to ring me in the middle of the night. What's the weather like? All the time, you know. And I'd be saying to her, Mum, they call me a pommy bastard. I said, no, that means they like you. And that is true. It is true. The term of endearment with an Aussie is, he's alright, and he's a pommy bastard. Am I going?
Don't stop.
So what really summed it up to me, I've landed, sunshine, I've met the lads at the soccer club, they're all Brits, I've come for a Dutch club, any Dutch here or anything like that? You don't know what Offerdonner means?
No.
That's a swear word in Dutch, that's all.
What one?
That's what they said to me, Offerdonner, you know. And I got here, Dutch club, I lived in Ringwood, sunshine, I got a job then with TNT. This is how crazy it was then in those days. I come out from Ringwood and the president of Ringwood City who owned it, owned a sporting goods company called Stella Sporting Goods. Jeff Hunt worked there. Remember Jeff Hunt, the squash player, right? Yeah. And he had a lot of freight. He rang up TNT and said to the sales manager, in a Dutch accent, I've got a salesman here. Is that Dutch?
This is you.
Give him a job. And they give me a job. So I'm working in sales at TNT, and you'd love this. So I've gone to this quick as there it was. Mark Dawson was the sales manager, who's an AFL footballer and that. All these AFL footballers are there. Mark McClure, Kenny Hunter, Kim Hodgman, Peter Jonas. I'm working with all these, right? And I'll never forget, the sales meeting was 8 o'clock in the morning. We'd all go there, and the sales manager got intense with us. Straight after that, we got to Lygon Street to Nocturnos, and then for a couple of hours, and then lunchtime we go to Jimmy Watson's for a drink. How good is this? And then Friday night, the sales manager Mark, we used to have a sales meeting at 3 o'clock in the Carlton Inn and just get pissed. And we played soccer on a Saturday, right? And I'd come over as this big star and all that, and I was the captain. And I used to go for one drink, well, you know me. I got the sack as captain after 2 weeks. You know, we're just having a ball. And I was scapegoat, but what really did it for me was, right, you've won a boat race, right? You've won a boat race, right? And your Prime Minister, at 8 o'clock in the morning in Perth, he sat watching, can you remember it?
Yes.
And he's gone, and he's pissed. He's gone, if anybody here gets the sack from the boss today, they're a bum. And I've gone, oh my God, I've just left England, Margaret Thatcher is in charge, she's arguing with the miners, we're on a 3-day week, we've got petrol ration, we've got nothing, it's fucked, and your Prime Minister's pissed at me. And he's won the Yard of Ale in Oxford. And I'm going, oh my God, how good is this country? So that was it, I just fell in love with it. This is great.
That's why we're the lucky country.
Pardon?
That's why we're the lucky
He
country.
still is, that's what I'm trying to say. And like, me in England, right, I like the fool and all that, but sometimes you've got to be careful in England. Like, if I'm out of my town and somewhere else, and then I'm in the pub having a go, I will get a glass word of a lie if in England, and especially when I went to London with my accent, right? Here, I could do anything and you would know. Right? I'd be in your pubs and I'd be singing away like I was today, but you know, everybody, I was just singing along with. There was no, look at that English idiot. Aussies judge you as you are, not where you come from or what you do. And that was so refreshing for me. Probably in a bad way because I loved that life. but he was just great, you know. I'm not saying I was alcoholic, but I just like to drink and party, you know, because I still kept fit and all that. But life's going along great. I've got a really good job with the logistics straight and all that, and I'm playing soccer and all that, and I'm starting to do this Music Man thing in the pubs and all that, which I got banned from the saloon for doing it. I got banned from the forum for doing it. I got banned from everywhere from doing it.
No one gets
So,
banned from there.
pardon?
No one got banned from there.
Because I was standing on the bar and everything. So sliding doors, right? So one of the lads said to me, Brooksy, why didn't you go on that Red Faces and do that thing? I said, it don't matter. I said, all right. So I rang 10 of the boys up, and I said, lads, we're going to go on this Red Faces thing, right? We've got an audition on Thursday at 8 o'clock, right? Which is the worst time ever, because we could have about 10 pots before. So we turned up, 10 of us, right? And the lads, really, it was like, just follow me, right? So we got into Channel 9 Studios, and the reception area is huge, and we've all walked in with suits, we've had a couple of drinks, and there's people sat on the room, one dressed as a centurion, one as a chief, all that for the audition, right? You know, all nervous. And there's us 10 turned up for a lap, right? And they're all going in. Next minute they say, David Brooks? Yeah, all right, yeah. So we go in this room, right? And there's 3, and it's half the size, right? And there's 3 people behind the desk. And it was confronting when 10 of us come in, and we couldn't line across, so we had to go in 2 lines, right? So we did have a little thing and all that, and then we came out and they all applauded and all that, and we're on live on Saturday, right? Little did we know that would change my fucking life, that one little thing. So Saturday's come along, right? 8 o'clock, bad time again. Bad time again. Because it used to be in the morning, didn't it? Saturday morning. Should have been in the morning. So we're half cooked. And the lads have carried cans in for the green room and all that. So we're in the green room, and there's too big for the green room, all those lot, and there's 2 other contestants on the road. Anyway, we got on well with them. Anyway, the rest is history. We went on for a lap. We're half cooked. Red joined in. We won $500. We went straight to the pub. Peran Hotel. We went straight to the pub and got pissed. And that and we thought that was it, right? Just a lap, right? So then I'm going along the way and all that and doing things, and then I get a great job in the logistics, working for a company called Emery Worldwide, and I get a transfer back to England in 1989, right? And I'm managing South Africa. That's when I went there, and Europe with my route manager, and Australia, New Zealand. It was the best job in the world. It was fucking great. I did nothing but no, and we're doing this. And another sliding door. I'm in London, right? And I met Tony Doddermain, who I've met him ages ago, right? He's Victorian cricket chairman now for the Victoria. He's with Merv Hughes, right? England are playing the Ashes in 1989. Australia's playing England the Ashes in 1989, right? So I'm with Merv, and Donna said, this is the, and Merv goes, oh, right. He says, come with me. And on my mother's life, he grabs me, takes me to the Australian team hotel, gets them all together, and I'm doing the music man upon in front of the whole Australian gospel trooper, I'm a player, Phil and they're all, yeah, I'm not Australian, I'm the boonie. So that's it. So then I get tickets to the Oval. I'm in the room, I'm in the changing room. In Australia. Ever be in the English train. Never get me in. I'm in the Australian changing room. Unbelievable. So that was great. Jamie Brayshaw was another one who I just met then as well, because he was playing in Bury. Young Jamie Brayshaw. So then I'm doing that, and then on my trip 1989, 1990, I come back and walk, because I'm based in England then for 2 years. I got married as well. So I got married. I got married. Yeah, I got married. So then I come back. I'm in Perth. Australia's playing in Perth.
Hang on, did you marry an Aussie or a Pom?
I was married a Pom. Yeah. We'll get to that in a minute. So I'll be alright for time. I've got another 4 hours. So I'm in Perth then, and Bob's, because I also, when I'm in London, I organise all the freight back, all the players' freight, for nothing, so the players love me, you know, because all the big boxes, I did that for nothing with our company. We lost it. So I mean, next minute, Brooksy, get down here, we're playing. So, word of a lie, I was telling Cliff Young, what's it called, Cliff Young? Carl Cliff. So I'm in the changing rooms with them all again. Bob Simpson looked fantastic with me. And next minute he said, Prime Minister, fucking hell, Bob Orr. And my mother's like, and Bob said, stand next to me. So I'm there, all playing with Bob. Well done. My fucking hero.
True story.
Honest to God. And all the players are sniggering like, they had no idea. I had seen it. So that was it. So I'm back in England and I'm missing Australia that mad. And luckily I got a job offer here. I got married, and within 2 months I brought Elizabeth here with a young little boy, 5-year-old Alex, right? Who's now 37, something like that. So I come back to Australia, right? Sliding door again, right? Music meant, it wasn't as though we planned it. It was soccer. To the lads, soccer was important. This was a laugh when we did it, right? So I've been back about a month. I'm in Armadale. I'm putting petrol in my car. Next minute, a car rolls up. It's Darren Summers.
He was the conqueror.
He says, oh, you're back. He says, give me your number. So then, he gave me his number. I get a call, we want you back on. Right? But what happened then, right, is that 2 of the guys who were in the original Music Man had come back to England, right? I then had met my future wife, and he had a party in my house, right? And they came as well, and she had 5 sisters, and 2 of her sisters met them 2, and they fucking married them. So they're in England now. Isn't that amazing, right? So they're in England. So I've come back, another guy's done his name, so we're going to go back on. So I'm going to replace 3, right? So I've got the one that's on now all the time, that's the one. So we're on again, and that's when we do the glass. No, that's when we do the Phil Truffle on the next one. So we go on again, win it again, $500 straight to the pub, get pissed. It's finished again, right? We don't want to do it, we want to play soccer. It's finished, right? Roll on now, that's 1990, right? I'm now doing the job and all that, playing soccer, right, you know. 1993, I'm in the Sandringham Hotel, I'm playing pool with this bloke, and this kid said, hey, that's that guy from that, remember that? And he recognised me. And he had a media agency in Coventry Street, South Melbourne, and he gave me his card, right? So, next minute, about 6 months later, the guy rings me up, and he says, Brooksy, he says, you're not going to believe this, but there's an agency, Saatchi & Saatchi, looking for you, right? And nobody can find you because you're not with any agents or anything. But I said, I met this bloke in a pub, right? What had happened is, Saatchi & Saatchi, Tooheys had commissioned Saatchi & Saatchi to do a beer commercial, right? And the director was Roger, I forgot his second name, but he used to do Hey Hey's ads for if you never go, you never know. Remember that for Darwin? Roger Tompkins, right? He was commissioned. So he's on a flight from New Zealand to Sydney to meet Saatchi & Saatchi. He's on the plane and they're showing best and worst of Red Faces, which they showed just before, and we were all watching it and we weren't on. And at the end of the show, Darryl says, okay, we have to leave with one of the best ones we've ever had on. And they finished it with us, right? So this guy went, I want them for the ad. True story. So this guy rings me up and says, you want to do a commercial? And I thought it's a wind up this. He says, Coventry Street, right? So I said, all right, I'll get the boys, right? So I ring the boys up, they all think it's a wind up. We meet at the Golden Gate in South Melbourne. They think it's a wind up, right? Oh yeah, Brooksy, you're up because why would they not believe me? So we all meet in this pub, and then we have to go to this PR place to do an audition, and it was hilarious. Each one of us had to go, hi, and we're like, acting. So they did that, right? And they got all this sent to Saatchi. I then got flew to Saatchi & Saatchi, and I went in this great hotel down near the harbour. What's the area? The old area called?
The Rocks.
The Rocks at the bottom near the boat. What's it called? The best hotel I've ever been in my life, right? So I'm there meeting Saatchi & Saatchi and the Tooheys, and they're saying, yeah, we want you to do this ad. There's 10 here, but we only can take 5.
Oh, wow, okay.
We can only take 5. So I said, all right. I went back and I said to the lads, it's 10 of us and no, right? I said, I can't leave half here, So I went back to Saatchi & Saatchi. I said, it's not about, it was 5,000 each. He said, we'd stay together. So they liked that. So we went, they flew us to New Zealand for a week to film this Chewy's commercial, right? And it was unbelievable. We had a room each, we got pissed every night. That bad, they got pissed off because we were hungover for the shoot. Right? So we did this ad, right? Still not knowing what had happened to our lives, right? So we do this ad, and this Roger, I never forget he said to me, Brooksy, we're not going to know what's happened to you. We come back, and then about 3 months later, they start advertising it. And then Hey Hey ring us up, we're back on Hey Hey, Chewy's ad and all that. Next minute, there's 150 billboards in Sydney. Chewy's with my bonce on it, and in Melbourne as well, right? And then but the lads were all soccer players, and a lot of them were playing National League, right? And this was a pain in the arse for them. Right? So, load of fucking drink. We get on the plane, get to Sydney, they pick us up, drive us round to a pub. Yeah. Hey, we're getting paid for this. stand on the bar and do it and all that. And all that. Anyway, one weekend we went up there, it was a great weekend. So as long as they saw me, it didn't matter. So I got 4 lads from the pub, and I said, do you want a weekend? So they come up with it. There was a big lad, Higgy, we just lost him about a year ago. Big Higgy came along, he's about 6'6", like Chevy Chase is like. So we go up to Sydney with his firemen, and we're going and there's fires, and we're going to these pubs and there's big sign, the tourist music man, we go in, have a drink, do the music man and all that. The last one was up in the bush and we were about an hour there. And we were absolutely pissed. Well, I had told myself, but the boys were pissed. Absolutely pissed. So the truck, like what we got here now, pulls up right outside, right? We open the door, the cans fell out, Big Higgy, absolutely, he falls out. The bouncers come out and say, you lot are not getting in. I said, we're the act. So that was one black mark to 2 weeks. So it was a whirlwind without even trying to do it. We were just having a bloody good time with it all, you know. And the Aussies, I think the Aussies liked that because they knew we weren't up ourselves or anything, and they could relate to it. They were just having a good time and a good laugh. So it's still going. Next minute, we get a call from the ACB.
ABC?
No,
Cricket Board.
Australian Cricket Board, right? Australia playing England, we want you to do some songs on the ground. I got pictures and videos. So we're on the SCG and the MCG singing all these songs like against the English, like you wind your way, you wind your way. And the other one was you all live in a dull and dreary land. We're all bums. Oh no, fucking true. We're on the MCG and SCG.
Who wrote the song?
Hey?
Who wrote the song?
We between them, yeah. Fucking hilarious. So we're doing all that, and then in between this, I get a call from Michael Gudinski's secretary, thinking it's a wind up, right? Michael wants to see you, right? I wish he was still alive because I'm doing the book he couldn't. Anyway, so then wind up. No, it's not. I'll go into Mushroom Records, right? Big group. There's Kylie and all these, and Michael Gudinski says, we want to do an album with you. It went copper. Number one in the reject shop. Anyway, so it was, and Red Simons is going to produce it. So then, Red says, right, we're going to do it. What can you? I said, well, the lads are playing soccer weekend. He said, all right, we'll do it Saturday night and Sunday night over 2 weekends. So Red used to live in Thornbury, and he had this garage, huge garage out the back. So we used to stand there with Lindsay Field, who's in John Farnham's band. He was our voice coach, as though we needed a voice coach. And we recorded an album in about 6 hours, with about 55 beers between us. And he was like, you're all going on the summer holiday, do I dig it? Those were the days, my friend, the music man and all that. So we recorded this album, right? Then we're going promoting in all the shops and all that. He's charting, right? He's charting, he's in the top 20. We're a good Bon Jovi. Michael Jackson, I've got the charts. And here's us, all we're going to do is play songs and leave us alone. So next minute, you have to pinch yourself next minute. We get a call. The Coca-Cola Music Awards are on the coast here. It's what's on the SeaWorld. It's on at SeaWorld, right? You're going and have a mushroom to the Coca-Cola Music Awards. So there's a couple of lads that can't go, we've got a big game. So 7 of us, I got 2 ringings there as well. So then we go up to the Coca-Cola Music Awards, we get through. We've got a hotel, we've got a room each and all that. We get down there, and we're at the back there, we go, Will Smith is the MC. You know Will Smith? Will Smith is the MC. And Farnham's warming up. And then we go out the back, we've got our own caravan. Jimmy Barnes. John Farnham. I just said his name.
Will Smith.
Will Smith. So what's the first thing not me, but Woody from Birmingham, what's the first thing we do?
Get pissed.
Slaps. So Woody gets some fucking slaps, so he got slapped in there, right? So next minute, our caravan is the most popular caravan. We think all the road is everybody's in. And strike me down again. Will Smith is going introducing everybody. He sticks his head in our caravan and goes, "Hi guys!" And Woody, who's from Birmingham, and he talks like that, he goes, "All right, Will, do you want a beer?" And he goes, "Do you guys drink before you go on stage?" And he said, "We sound better when we do that." And he goes, "Oh, you guys are cool." What do you call it was on?
Like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
She sang
He's so awesome.
Bet Davy's Eyes. Who sang that? Bet Davy's Eyes. Terence Trent D'Arby on. The lads will tell you. I didn't know who, and I said, "Can you take a picture of us, Trent?" I called him Trent. Kim Wilde. Kim Wilde, they're all there. So anyway, this is probably, I could not even talk about this for like 15 years, right? So anyway, rehearsal, right? And not being mentioned, the lads, all they have to do is just stand, and it's up to me. If I get it wrong, they are fucked, right? So they don't worry, they just get pissed. So anyway, I'm getting annoyed with them now because they're drinking, right? Because this is massive, this, right? So next minute, right, music men rehearsal. So we go on, we stand on stage, and I'm stood there, and next minute there's all these cameras, right? I've never seen so many cameras in my life. There's seats but nobody in them. And there's a bloke, because Farnham won't do Farnham and Will Smith won't do it. So there's two technicians there with earphones on, right? And he says, "Right, what you do, you're going to be in suits and briefcases, and then John Farnham's going to be talking about, this is how we do it, we count the votes, and the winner of this is the winner." And then you just come in and go, "Oh, I am interrupting." Right, that's it, easy, right? Oh, no problem. So we go back, more drinks. Anyway, curtain call. Music man. It's on YouTube, you can see it online. YouTube. Music man call. So we're behind the curtains now, right? I've got a white suit on, right? The boys are behind me, right? We hear the call, but I've heard the wrong call. I've gone out too early. So I'm there, and I'm sitting, and I'm like that dancing. And then I fucking froze, because I've seen Farnham and Will Smith there, and all this audience and cameras, and I'm going like that. John Farnham could be having a shit, I don't know. I don't know what he's saying, and he's going along. I should have interrupted me. And he says, "What are you doing?" I went, "I don't know." You can see it on there. I said, "I don't know." And then he went, "What do you mean?" Then I went, "Oh, I am the music." Oh, count the votes, we all count the votes. The word of the line, John Farnham, he went, "Well, that was the music men, whoever they are. They're very unprofessional music men." What a fucking lie. But everybody thought it was part of it though.
Okay.
Oh my God. Will Smith. But it was like, we weren't trained, we were just like thrown in and doing all these things, you know, so.
Pizza.
Hey?
Pizza.
Yeah, just winging it and all that, you know. So that was all that with Will Smith and all that. And the cricket and the tour of Sydney, and then he was getting crazy then, because the wives were saying to the guys, said, "Look guys, you're having too much fun. Right? It's either divorce or the music men." I got divorced. True story. So we did the funny show and things like that. It just wouldn't, honestly, it just wouldn't go away. Well, and then in the 90s, I get a call from from my lad over here. He said, Brooksy, we want you to do a commercial for us, a car commercial in Berwick. Didn't it?
Oh no!
We did a commercial with lots of cars, lots of cars. That's on YouTube talk.
You're not in any cars, Michelle.
I remember that. Gary Lecky, Gary Lecky, Gary Lecky, Gary Lecky, Gary Lecky, Gary Lecky. Don't fucking drink on that one. No rider. Don't like that.
Oh man.
Anyway, you know, you know the boxing story, don't you?
Yeah, boxing
Hey?
story. Yeah, not you all know the boxing story.
You've heard that?
We saw the video.
Pardon?
You showed us the video.
Yeah. Do you want to hear again? No?
Yeah.
Hey?
Yeah, we haven't heard it.
Alright, well, over the years, I started doing filming and documentaries and things like this. And it was the first corporate boxing challenge, which are very popular now, right? About 12 years ago. And the guy said, oh, do you want to come down and film them all training? So I went down filming them all training, and there was guys in the 50s, and then there were young guys in the 20s, and they were matching up the age, but more the weight and the size of them. So I'm filming for about 2 or 3 or 4 weeks, right? Next minute, it's 2 weeks to go, and somebody's pulled out. And they said, Brooksy, we're short. Will you do it? I said, why not? I've been watching you all, I know what to do. That's the worst decision of my life. So anyway, they're trying to match me up, but because I weighed 72 kilos, there was no one my age. A young lad wanted to join, so they got this young lad, right? And he was like 32. So I said, oh, we'll have a spar. So we had a spar, and I've got that on film. And I'm not kidding you, he was like Mr. Bean, he was like that. and I'm like, oh, well, I'm a cocky then, you know. And he went, oh, yeah, I'll fight him. So, 2 weeks to go, right? Fighting, right? He's $300 a head, black tie event. Not live, he was on Foxtel, but not live, right? I had Sam Solomon, ex-world champion, in my corner, Barry Michaels commentating, right? And we're on first, me and this guy. And the others got heavyweights and all that, you see them on the video. I've got
What was your fight, man?
Red Devil. So, I've got a puppet like this. So I've got a puppet like this, and I'm like looking around like this, like annoying all the boxers, like. And I'm only in about 10 minutes, right? You know, I'm going like, could spit the dog in England, this thing. So I'm messing around with him, fucking puppet like that, and all this. Brooksy, you're on him. I said, oh, shit, this bloke, he's all that. So next minute, right now, so I go in. And like, I'm in the ring then, and it's busy. Don't it looks the proper fight, isn't it? Everybody's there, cameras, and I'm looking around, yeah, this is alright, you know. Next minute, ding ding! So I go out, and he goes, whack! Whack! And I'm going, oh my god! So I'm like getting away from him. What has happened, in the 2 weeks before, his mate said, don't get beat by anyone twice your age. So he's had lessons every day. So I didn't know that, and he's come out swinging, and I'm going like that, I'm going like that. I remember, I'm still wearing the wig then, right? And I'm going away from him, and I've gone like that with my left hand, my right hand's down, and he's gone like that, and I've gone bang, 26 seconds, my hair's gone whoop. I've literally gone whoop on the floor, I'm out. And the whole place went dead. Because people didn't realise then it was a proper. I was out for 6 minutes, 26 seconds. I had the oxygen on me and everything, the doctor and all that. Fucking hell. Not funny. Not funny, I could have died. So after I had to go for brain scans and all that, but well, I'm not alright. So seriously, I was lucky, I didn't know what I was going in for, but absolutely. So now, I box a lot now, and learning how to do it and all that, and they're trying to arrange a rematch, so who knows? Not dead yet or dead yet, but anyway, that icebergs and all that, but as I said, I came here in 1981 with nothing, and I've still got it. But what should I say, this country is so good to me, and I've done a lot of things recently to put back to this country because it's been so good to me. It's been so good to me. And if I can leave anything, just enjoy it, just laugh, and when you're happy and all that. But before I start fucking crying again, I've got to tell you this is, I did this a few times, but it's a mate of mine in England wanted to come out, and I eventually got him to come out. August 30, he did a diary to me. August 31st, right? Just got transferred from Bury in UK, Brooksy'S, to my new home in Karratha, Western Australia. This is the town that knows how to live. Beautiful sunny days, warm balmy evenings. I watched the sunset from my deck chair at pool yesterday. It was beautiful. I finally found my home. I love it here. September the 13th. Really heating up now. Got to 31 today, but no problem now. Air conditioned, driving an air conditioned car. What a pleasure to see the sun every day like this. I'm turning into a sun washer. No blasted rain like back in Bury. September the 30th. Had the backyard landscape with tropical plants today. Palms, rocks, it's beautiful. No more mowing the lawns for me. Another scorcher day. But I love it here, it's paradise. October the 10th. The temperature hasn't been below 35 almost. How do people get used to this kind of heat? At least today it's windy though. Keeps the flies off a bit. I'm acclimatising, but a little longer than they expected. October the 15th. Fell asleep by the pool yesterday. Got 3rd degree fucking burn. I missed 3 days off work, what a dumb thing to do. Gotta respect the old sun in Australia. October the 20th. Didn't notice Kitty, our cat, sneaking into the car before I left for work this morning. By the time I got back to the car after work, Kitty had died and swallowed up to the size of a shopping bag and stunk the upholstery. The car now smells like whiskets and cat shit. I've learned my lesson though, no more pets in the heat. I told my daughter she ran off. October the 25th. The wind is a bastard. It feels like a giant fucking blow dryer. And it's as hot as hell. The home air conditioner is on the blink, and the repairman charged me $200 just to drive over and tell me he needs to order parts from fucking Perth. The wife and kids are complaining now. October the 30th. The temperature's up around 40. And the parts still haven't arrived for the fucking air conditioner. House is like an oven. We've been sleeping outside the pool for 3 nights now. Fucking $600,000 house and we can't even sleep inside it. Why the hell did he ever come here? November the 4th. Finally got the air conditioning fixed. It cost $1,500 and gets the temperature down to around 25 degrees. But the humidity makes it about 35. Stupid repairman. November the 8th. If one of the smart ass bastards says to me, hot enough for you today, I'm gonna fucking kill him. By the time I get to work, the car radiator is boiling over, my frigging clothes are soaking wet, and I smell like a baked cat. No, November the 9th. I tried to run some errands after work. Wore shorts and sat on the black leather upholstery seats in my car. I thought my fucking arse was on fire. I lost 2 layers of flesh and the hair on the backs of my legs on my arse. Now the car smells like burnt hair, fried arse and baked cat. November the 10th. The weather report might as well be bloody fucking recording. I'm Sonny, I'm fucking Sonny. It never changes. It's been too hot to do anything but take fucking months. And the weatherman says it might really hot up next week. November the 15th. Does it ever rain in this fucking place? Water restrictions will be next, so my $5,000 worth of pounds might well as just dry up and go in the fucking pool. The only thing that thrives in this fucking hellhole are the bloody flies. You don't open your mouth for fear of swallowing half a dozen of them. November the 20th. Welcome to hell. It got to 45 fucking degrees today. The air conditioner's gone in my car. The repairman came to fix it and said, "Fine enough for you today." I wanted to shove his fucking car up his fucking house. Anyway, I had to spend $2,500 to bail me out of jail for assault in the street. Fucking Karratha. What kind of sick, demented idiot would want to live here? December the 1st. What? First day of summer?